I have this from a very unusual source. Muscle Cars and Trucks reports luxury electric vehicle households stay loyal to battery power as 3 out of 4 homes have expressed interest in purchasing an EV as their next vehicle. However, things don't look promising for the electric vehicle market, as a recent study by S&P Global Mobility shows that once Tesla's industry-leading loyalty numbers are removed from the data, nearly half of those non-Tesla EV households that have purchased a new EV still end up purchasing an internal combustion vehicle the next time they need to buy a car. Oh, that's very sad. If there's anything to take from this, it's that American buyers don't necessarily want electric vehicles. They just want Teslas. Because this is a reality, it makes future product decisions with intentions to gain Tesla-like stock expectations a fool's errand. Don't you love it? This data also points to another truth. EVs remain appealing to certain well-heeled demographics. Excluding Tesla, brand EV households' fuel type loyalty rate is 52.1% this year through July. That's staying loyal to electric vehicles regardless of which brand they purchase next. That means that nearly 50% of households that have purchased an EV opt to buy an internal combustion engine vehicle next. However, this could be a replacement for a different household vehicle and not a replacement for the EV. Infrastructure, range, those were the 3 top reasons consumers listed for not buying an EV the next time. For some, having a traditional ICE or hybrid vehicle is a way to combat some of those obstacles. You can't make this stuff up. This is Randy Kirk. Please hit the like, please hit the subscribe, and then please hit notify, because I'm happy to announce that I have a new co-host for Good News Tuesday, Nicholas Gibbs will join me with his take on all things Tesla, all things the economy, Tesla stock, and the stock market macro, starting on Tuesday nights. So then tomorrow, as you know, Monday, we have the regular morning show, followed by Brian White around noon. And then in the late afternoon, we have Larry Goldberg helping us out with Good News Monday night. And Brian White told me he's got 2 amazing videos to do with me on Monday and Tuesday. I don't know if you've seen his channel recently, My Tesla Weekend, but he's been doing some fun stuff. Anyway, earlier today, I did a video looking at the reality of the Optimus being in actual use and creating revenues in 2024 based on expert analysis. I also give a conservative estimate of the profits for 2024, 2025, and 2026, and the numbers are absolutely over the top, but supported by serious analysis of the current hardware and software situation. I'll leave that card later. You just hang in there. I'll put that card up. Now this from Teslarati. Oh, by the way, oh yeah, did I mention this? Oh yeah, just real quick. Yeah, real quick. You need to get this. All right. You know the story. Okay. All the information in the description below. All right. This is from Teslarati. After overseeing the investigation into Tesla's autopilot system over the past couple of years, the acting chief of National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, Ann Carlson, has announced her plans to step down. Oh, well. The announcement of Carlson's departure comes just after NHTSA issued a recall this week, requiring additional autopilot safety guards, representing the culmination of the agency's 2-year investigation into the Advanced Driver Assistance System, ADAS, that began in August 2021. Following the recall notice, Tesla immediately fixed the issue with the deployment of an over-the-air update. So, number 1, that is the end of the investigation. And number 2, it's the end of the nemesis, Carlson. All right, Chevy, no, this is a different story. Chevy has stopped production of the Volt this month, right now, with claims that it will bring it back in 2025. Does anybody think that sounds unlikely? Maybe they'll bring it back. I don't know. We'll see. Seems like this is one more capitulation in the face of the coming Tesla Gen 3 vehicle. Now, Troy Tesla reports today, and I know I'm going to be saying things, but I'm not going to go into detail, Troy. I just want people to know. Troy now thinks that Tesla could miss the 1.8 million. It's not going to be by much if they do. I think he's probably wrong. They're probably going to make it, but there is time for that to change. Most of the miss would be due to the slow sales of Model Y in Europe, with Tesla shutting down production of the Model Y in Berlin for 10 days over the holidays. He has an interesting tick. He has an interesting tick. No, I'm sorry. He has an interesting take, which is in line with my understanding, but no one else seems to think this is correct. So I'd love this to be the future in Berlin. Listen to this. He says of Giga Berlin's production capacity. I want to talk about this a little to clarify the situation. The main factory building at Giga Berlin was designed for a production capacity of 500,000 units per year. It has one production line that can produce both Model Ys and Model 3s. I don't tell how many people I've asked this question, and everybody says, I don't remember that. I'm like, no, it was designed to be able to do Ys and 3s. He goes on to say, this is not new. The Model Y line at Giga Shanghai can also produce Model 3s. Hear that? So he says, I think Tesla's idea was to split the 500,000 capacity between Model 3 and Model Y based on demand. For example, it could be 350,000 Model Y and 150,000 Model 3, and they can adjust that based on the number of orders they're getting for each model. It's a very good plan, he says. The issue, of course, is that they weren't ready with the 4680 cells. Production is now higher, but it seems Tesla hasn't fully automated some of the steps because the production rate is just not great yet. I think he says that Giga Berlin is not going to produce 4680 cells until all the steps are automated. Therefore, Model 3 will have to wait. I personally suspect that those 4680s will come sooner rather than later, and that would finally vindicate what I've been saying for a very long time about Berlin, that they're going to build Model 3 there also. Anyway, we'll see what happens next on that one. Torque News says the Tesla Cybertruck orders show tri-motor Cyberbeast is way more popular than Cybertruck all-wheel drive. Delivery dates now are diverging by 9 months. Delivery dates for the tri-motor dual Cyberbeast and the dual-motor Cybertruck have diverged by 9 months in just the last 2 weeks of Cybertruck orders. The Cyberbeast delivery date is now mid-2024 to late 2024, whereas the all-wheel drive is still January to March. Now, I'm not sure the logic is correct on this. It could just be that Tesla set up to make fewer of the beasts, and it wasn't expecting the numbers for the beast to be this strong. But the difference in delays could be due to Tesla making way more all-wheel drives than Cyberbeast, or having that plan. On the other hand, you know, the $120,000 price tag is not that bad. And there is not a doubt in my mind that for those who care to, they can make a big profit renting these out on Turo. All right, Slash Gear has this Model Y feature that might surprise you. I'm sorry, they talk about, I should say, this Model Y feature that might surprise you. The Model Y has a rear seat recline capability. It isn't even in the book. So here's the article. Despite it not being mentioned in the owner's manual, the rear seats of the Model Y can recline to give passengers extra comfort on long trips. To recline the chair, press the button that's hidden away inside the latch on the far side of the seats. 3 different reclining positions are available, and pressing the button allows you to recycle or to cycle between all 3 positions. Interesting, eh? Okay, fun fact. China sells about 50% more automobiles compared to the United States. And the United States says about 15 million, they sell about 22 million. But the US has 60% more revenue in auto sales compared to China. How about that? Oh, Gary Black has trimmed his EPS for year end. What happened to my stats on that? Whoops. Oh no. What have I done? Something got knocked out. I'm so sorry. I will talk about Gary Black in the morning. I want to let you know what Gary Black is thinking right now in terms, he's just knocked down things, I think about 10 cents on the final year-end number in terms of the EPS. I think he also knocked it down just a little bit for next year's EPS. Anyway, but I'll bring that up in the morning. I know I originally put it in here, but it's gone. Okay, so Barron's continues to be my favorite resource for both Tesla and financial information. I find them to be down the middle. I find them to be reliable. I find their information to be right. most of the time. Doesn't mean all the time. They don't seem to generally be trying to hurt Tesla. So here's what comes up from them today. The impact of Tesla's massive recall is explained by them. When Tesla recalls cars, it gets a lot of attention. The reasons are easy to understand. Tesla's the most valuable automaker on the planet, led by the richest man on the planet. Tesla recalls typically involve large numbers too. Understanding what the recalls mean for Tesla's stock or brand image, however, is a very different story from understanding why they are covered so closely. Barron's looked at recall data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administrator, NHTSA, to help understand and to answer the harder to answer questions. While recalls generate some alarm for investors, they rarely have lasting impact on any automaker. Recalls happen. That's part of the process automakers and NHTSA undertake to keep all the cars on the U.S. roads safe, no matter when they were manufactured. Over the past 2 years, major U.S. automakers have recalled 46 million vehicles. Tesla appears to punch way above, it doesn't say way, I've added the way. Tesla appears to punch above its weight, though. The electric vehicle giant only accounts for about 1% of all the light vehicles on U.S. roads, but it accounts for 15% of all recalls. Oh, that sounds serious. But there's a key difference. More than 90% of all Tesla recalls involve software updates. Tesla's most recent recall, which involved ample media coverage, including a question on the NPR Weekly News quiz show. What they won't tell me involved more than 2 million cars. It was on everything. It was overwhelming all the rest of the coverage for the last 4 days. It's unbelievable. Even today, Wired had, other people had articles today, still headline, 2 million cars recalled, all Tesla cars recalled. Tesla, after an investigation conducted by NHTSA, updated software controlling warning signals for Tesla's driver assistant feature to better assure its systems won't be misused. That was Tesla's largest recall ever, updating effectively all the cars they've ever sold in the US. Warning signals for driver assistance products feel like a worthy safety issue to address. Any safety issue can generate a recall, though. Tesla's second largest recall, adjusted window closing pressure exerted by closing a window, also an over-the-air update. Software-based recalls are primarily a Tesla thing. It runs the largest fleet of connected vehicles in the US and in the world and in history. Anyway, among the rest of automakers studied, including Toyota, Honda, General Motors, Ford, Stellantis, BMW, and Hyundai, only about 16% of their recalls involve software updates. Many of those updates still happen at the dealer, not over the air. Most recalls in the US still involve the hardware issue fixed by a car dealer. Tesla accounted for the lowest hardware-based recalls over the past 2 years, about 1.6% of the total. Ford accounted for the most hardware-based recalls, or 38% of the total. While recalls are intended to improve safety, hardware issues don't always get fixed. About 60% of those covered by Tesla's hardware-based recalls have been corrected, according to NHTSA, because people just don't bring them in. They think that whatever the recall is about, it's just, who cares? Don't need to fix that. But the compliance with software-based recalls is, of course, close to 100%. Oh, here's the Gary Black numbers. Man, it's just got in the wrong place. Man, I've got a lot to do here. You got time? Can you hang in there? Because there's a lot of good stuff coming. So Gary Black says, deliveries, he's still saying 476,000. He had it at 478. Full year 2023 still has it at 1.8 million. It was 1,802,000. His auto gross margin, he's dropped that 1.1% from 16.2 to 15.1. I think this is nonsense. He's saying that there was, more price reductions here near the end of inventory cars, but there wasn't general price decreases, and it's only in the United States, I think. I could be wrong, and I'm not sure. Anyway, he's dropped it over 1%. Auto gross margin, I'm sorry, I just did that. Adjusted EPS was 70 cents. I'm sorry. Now 70 cents, it was 80. And full year, he's got it at 310. It was 320 for 2024. He's saying 2.4 million vehicles. That's a very strong number, by the way. And then he did have it at 2.2, so he's increased that. Auto gross margin, he's got it going back up to 17.2. I think it'll go stronger than that. Wall Street is saying 18.5 for next year. And that sounds more like what I would put. Adjusted EPS for next year, he's got it now at 420 versus 430, and Wall Street is at $3.91. Why do you think that is? Because they're not counting enough for energy and services. Okay, what is going to happen next week? I know that's one of the main reasons you come to Monday night to the Monday morning show here. Okay, so what we've got on a lot of home builder stuff this week. Okay, so if you're interested in what's happening with the home builders, that's a lot of what we're going to be seeing this coming week. We have got home builder confidence on Monday. I won't be able to report that until Monday night with Larry. And that's so it's coming at 10 o'clock. Then on Tuesday, we have got housing starts. And that is going to be early enough. So housing starts and building permits will be Tuesday morning. So we'll report those. I was trying to see, I don't see any estimates here for some odd reason. Boy, technical difficulties again today. All right, then on Wednesday, we've got the U.S. current account and existing home sales, which I won't be able to report till Wednesday night when I've got Jeff Lutz to help think about that one. On Thursday, we got initial jobless claims. We have got the GDP revision that's suggested coming in at 5.2. We've got the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Survey looking like down 5.9. And that's what the estimated is. And then U.S. leading economic indicators also down 0.8. On Friday, we've got so much stuff. We have got, guess what? The PCE early because of the Christmas holidays. And those are showing really, and also durable goods orders and durable goods minus transportation. Those will also be on Friday morning. Personal income on PCE is looking at 0.2%, which would be great. Personal spending at 0.2%, which would be great. We've got PCE index coming in 0.000. Core PCE coming at 0.2. PCE year over year at 3. That's good. And core at 3.5. That would be down from where we were. So all that is looking good for Friday morning. Okay. Oh, new home sales is also coming in, and consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment still showing very, very reduced. All right. So then I think Tom Oliver of the Inquirer.net might be onto something. The headline at the Inquirer says the Elon Musk methodology. The Elon Musk methodology. Sounds familiar. He says 5 game-changing strategies for today's CEOs. He says, in my personal work and advising or interacting with Fortune 500 CEOs, and family business owners, and billionaire entrepreneurs around the world, I always emphasize that success can be learned and that great executives can be made. They do not need to be born into it. What are the top strategies that empower CEOs to become more successful or even world-class? Well, let us take Elon Musk as a good example. And then he goes on to list 5 of the 16 things that I have in my book. Now, there's nothing lifted. There's no paragraphs right out of my book, but he might have read my book. I don't know. All right. So where are we in the pre-market? Let's take a look at where things are right now. Start with the bonds. We've got the 10-year up a half of basis point. So still sitting at 3.933. I'm again been saying, and I continue, my best guess is the 10-year is now done. It's not going to, it could go down 20 basis points to 3.7 and then back up to 3.9. Of course, could it go up to 4.1? Yeah, all that's possible. Pretty close in this range, though, I'm pretty sure. Then you've got the 2-year, the 3-year, and the 5-year all down a little bit, which is what I'm expecting, but you've got the rest of them also up. So go explain it. The 2-month is up 1.3 basis points. The 2-year is down almost 1 basis point. Anyway, the 10-year just flipped. It's now, I'm sorry, it's still up just a little bit, 0.3 of a basis point. So yeah, interesting for tomorrow. Now let's take a look at the rest of these ideas, and we'll see oil is up $0.50, so $72. That's probably something to do with the bonds being down, price of dollar being up. I mean, the dollar being down, and therefore the oil is going to be up a little bit. There's also, some continued concerns about the amount of supply that it might be coming in. But we've got natural gas up a little bit, also up 0.72%. We have got gold up down $2.60, but still sitting kind of right where it's been for a week, almost a week, $2,033. We have got the dollar rebounding a little bit, and we have got the Bitcoin down about 1,000 at 41,324, but still right in that same range. Okay, the pre-market on the Dow, here we go. So the Dow is up 55, which is 15%, 0.15%. We've got the S&P up 875, which is up about 0.18%. So those are kind of close. But then the NASDAQ is only up $10 or 10 points, which is 0.06%. So once again, we're seeing this rotation a little bit again. We'll see what happens in the real market tomorrow, whether this continues. But I really think this rotation is going to be a thing. Of course, we don't have any ability to report on Tesla stock right now. Now, let me just go ahead. So what do I expect for next week? Here's what I expect for next week. Folks are going to be starting to leave town, and they're going to be out of town, for the next 2 weeks. There's going to be less trading, usually light trading around this time of year. There is nothing. I don't think the PCE is going to produce anything of interest. I think housing permits, it's going to be too soon after the reduction, the change in tone from the Fed. It's going to be too soon for permits or any of that stuff to be impacted. So I think what we're going to see is, I think we're going to see a very, very flat market for the next 2 weeks before we get into the new year. It might be trending up, and I think Tesla will definitely be trending up. We're going to be looking for that January 2nd number, and people are going to probably start buying towards that January 2nd number as we get more and more certainty about where we think it's going to come in. But I think Tesla will continue up. As you know, I think it will hit 300 by the end of the year. But that's going to be mostly because of Optimus, Gen 3 vehicles, all this, the Cybertruck. I mean, we have so much going on right now that's positive that I think the momentum is going to be there with this, with the drop in the interest rate. I think we're going to see Tesla moving towards that 300 and maybe get there by the end of the year. And then we'll see what happens after the numbers come in. That will give us a greater hint as to whether we can get to all-time high by the end of January. All right. So I know you think you've already heard all there is to hear about Optimus in the last 5 days because there's been so much coverage after the video. 4 days, however long it's been. But believe me, you want to see the video I did this morning because it's talking about how the reality of when is Optimus going to really start being manufactured? When is it going to be sold to third parties or rented to third parties? When is the revenue going to start pouring in? How many are they going to start making? And I've talked to the experts, and there's an expert video, a short video that I show you where an expert who's also competing with Tesla, making bots, and is well along in their plans. I mean, this is a big company, 70 engineers working on it. You want to see this video along with my analysis because I think it's going to make a difference in how you see things. All right, the card for that is right here. And then finally, you want to get, you still have, believe me, you have plenty of time to do this, okay? If you buy one, it's going to take 2 to 5 days to get there. If you buy two, it's going to take 2 to 3 days to get there, all right? Anything over 2 is coming special handling, so it's going to take 2 to 3 days to get to you. So you really have probably until Wednesday or Thursday to buy these if you're going to buy 2 or more. Now, if you want to buy one and you want me to send special handling, add $5, okay? That'll make it $30. Send me 30 and I'll do special handling on just one. If you buy 2 or more, I'm throwing in special handling and you'll get it in 2 to 3 days. All right, so place your orders ASAP. Let's get these things in time for Christmas. The information, Randy Kirk, PayPal.me/Randy Kirk in all lowercase letters. Add $20. I don't know when they're going to, if it's overseas, I have no idea when it's going to get there. It's not going to be for Christmas. Or if it's even in Canada or Mexico, probably not going to get there for Christmas. All right. So, but add $20 if you do want them for outside the US zip codes, and tell me stainless or camo. It speeds things up a lot. All right. That's it. I am done for Sunday night. It has been great talking to you.